Hello, it is Throwback Thursday, July 14th, 2022. Steve Sipress here on a blustery evening during the monsoon season here in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area of southern Arizona. You may notice behind me the American flag whipping audibly in the wind as we anticipate a possible monsoon storm coming our way. Speaking of a storm, it's ironic that amidst all these one-sided, incomplete hearings that are taking place in the capital of the United States on a riot that took place, I was going to say 6 months ago, but it's now a year and a half already. Oh my goodness. That some disingenuously call the insurrection. Well, today is actual Insurrection Day. It's known as Bastille Day in France because this is the day in 1789 that started the French Revolution. That's right. Thousands and thousands, a mob of angry French people came to the Bastille, the seat of the government, with the express purpose to overthrow and overtake the Bastille, not to hear a speech, not to gather, not to protest, not to riot, not to walk through the Bastille and put their feet up on a desk and walk around and check it out and pull on some barricades and assault a few officers. No, they were there to kill people and totally destroy the Bastille, which they did. And then they meant to arrest, as history tells it, the guy who was in charge of defending the Bastille. Instead of arresting him, they just took him out and killed him. That, my friends, is an actual insurrection. The French Revolution took place over the next few years. A few years later, the actual king of France, Louis XVI, and his wife, Marie Antoinette, you might have heard of her, were both beheaded. This was an actual insurrection. Interestingly enough, on this same date in history, July 14th, about 700 years before the French Revolution of 1789, in 1099, was the start of the first crusade, which again was a planned actual insurrection. Thousands of crusaders, Christians, showed up at the behest of the Pope. They went to Jerusalem with the express purpose, not, again, of hearing a speech or expressing their concern or protesting or walking around inside the walled city. No, the express intent of overtaking the city and pretty much killing everybody in it, which is pretty much what they did. Starting on this date in 1099, the Christians gathered for days and planned their attack on the walled city. They launched it on July 14th. They got inside Jerusalem, where they proceeded to murder thousands of Jews and Muslims and take it over and complete their insurrection known as the crusade, taking over the walled city of Jerusalem. So not one but two actual insurrections took place in history on this day, July 14th, 1789 and 1099, not 2020, January 6th, despite what any self-serving, hypocritical, power-hungry politicians want you to believe. Anyone that actually tells you that July 6th, the United States was some kind of an insurrection is either completely clueless about what an insurrection is, or they're completely clueless about history, or they're just completely disingenuous, or all of the above. But today, Throwback Thursday, we throw it back to two actual insurrections that took place on this date throughout history. And Greg Bowen is here, and I saw a bunch of other names scroll on by. On the Facebook Live where I'm recording this, they only show me one name at a time, so now I'm looking up and I see Greg. Great to see you here and everybody else that's here live. Anyone watching on the replay as the American flag flies behind me because No insurrection took place in January 2020. No insurrection was even attempted in January 2020. Of course, the flag still flies in this country. We do our insurrections at the ballot box. Oh, by the way, you might know that one of the major causes, famously, of the French Revolution, guess what? Food shortages, high prices, leading to the probably fictitious statement by Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake because of the bread shortages, and even those who were against the king and wanted the revolutionary were known to say, hey, let's make these bread shortages even worse. That will force the French people to take up arms and purposefully go to the Bastille with the express purpose, again, not of listening to a speech or marching or protesting or putting their feet up on somebody's desk or milling about the rotunda. No, of going to overthrow the government, which they did. And flash ahead to 2022, what do we have? We have food shortages and high prices. Oh, this will lead to an insurrection, almost undoubtedly, unless, again, there's, it's voting in the U.S., probably everywhere in the world, there's tremendous shenanigans going involved, but unless something unforeseen happens with the shenanigans in the voting process, there will be an insurrection in this country in November, which we do at the ballot box. And the ruling politicians who have caused the food shortages and the rising prices and the anger among the people will pay the price, not with riots and people marching down the street beating drums and keeping them up at night, or chasing them out of restaurants, or walking around the Capitol and putting their feet on the desk, or assaulting officers, or throwing Molotov cocktails at courthouses all around the country, or taking over parts of cities and calling them chop zones or whatever, simply by voting and removing the responsible parties the heck out of office. You'll see that happen in a few months. But as for today, that'll do it for Throwback Thursday. Thanks for being here today. I will catch you back here again tomorrow on Foundation Friday. Over and out.